Is there a ruckus? Absolutely. Santa Claus may or may not be on my roof. You're going to hear that. But in all of that chaos, this Wet n Wild Marilyn Monroe collection is kind of speaking to me. So I thought we could use it. Look how pretty this is. Let me open it. Glowing makeup versus glowy makeup. Let me show you what I'm talking about. Look at how pretty this is. Let's swatch this. I just feel like it's going to be really nice. That is nice. Okay, we're going to do a look. Let's do an eye look with this. All right, let's start with some clean canvas. We'll keep the look. We'll do the eye a little bit more full coverage. And what I'm talking about here is I'm covering up my undertone. I'm covering up the veins. We'll just look a little bit more full coverage. And this is a really good way. We don't think about this, but this is a really good way to kind of bring a full coverage aspect to your look without putting on heavy foundation. Just this little step here. You'll see I won't wear heavy foundation today, and we're just going to look a little bit more glam, a little bit more full coverage, like I mentioned. By the way, this is $10.75 right now. They're starting their Black Friday early, and y'all know that this is one of my most beloved eyeshadow bases ever. I'm gonna get y'all a link. All right, so we're grabbing this on our E28. Okay, we don't want to set any creases. I'm telling you, the ruckus that is ruckusing today, I cannot explain it. They're putting up our Christmas lights. And what else is happening? All kinds of things. Fun things, but it's happening. Okay, let me fix the color there. So let's press that color into our socket. I'm already so pleased with how smooth this shade is. Nice. That is so nice. Let me find out how much this palette is. It has to be affordable. I picked up some more. We're just going to continue to build this up some more. And I feel like this collection is just really nice for holiday. This is definitely a look I would do for, well, y'all don't know what the look's gonna look like, but this is something I would do for holiday. You'll see. All right, so I want to do a very soft cut crease. This is going to be such a good cut crease for beginners. This looks very scary. It's not going to be whatsoever. We are going to need to switch to a smaller brush, and we're going to push that into the socket first. Okay, we need to get that depth in there for when we blink, which you are able to see it. But you'll notice that right now, you're barely able to see it there you go. When I relax my eye, you can't see it. So what we need to do is kind of tilt our head back, work in small sections, and we want that to just creep out of the socket a little bit. That's what's going to create that depth and contrast later. But a small brush is key. The E27 is going to be perfect for this because it is angled. But that being said, just reach for the smallest, the ruckus that's ruckusing. Reach for the smallest brush in your collection instead of a fluffy brush. Anything too big, we're just going to lose. We're going to lose our dimension. I will say it's very important that we first lay down. I'm looking for Sheila, but y'all know that Sheila's always on the run. It's important that we first lay down those transitions. Even though they're lighter transitions, it's important that this dark shade has something to melt into. We need to wipe this brush off now, and then we're going to get to the next transition. We're actually almost done with it. So it looks very frightening. But I feel that's why sometimes we don't branch out and do more, because we'll be at this stage and we're just like, no, absolutely not. But since I have been doing this for so long, I can already see the end. I see it. I see the light at the end of this makeup tunnel. I'm just gonna make sure that that matches just a little bit more to that side. So now what we're doing is we're taking this shade again, grab it on the side of the brush. It's important where we pick that up. And what we're gonna do is we're just gonna start to tap to transition. Now take your time. This will melt back in because we have that transition laid down originally. And also, don't even worry about that. That's gonna look so different because we are going to, see that angle from the side of my nose? We're gonna clean that up in a minute. Don't even worry about that. So just take your time, transition this, melt it back in. And since we have that first transition laid down, it's gonna melt in so much easier. And I'm gonna do this till I reach all the way back towards the front of the eye. Now, let's carve this out. We're gonna use micellar water on our C30. I was just picking it up. Get in there. See that natural fold right there? I wanna create a larger lid space, so I'm gonna go above that. And if you're just starting out, it's always going to be a good idea to work in sections. And what I mean by that is this era in my life, I could just go, right? I've done it. I know my eye shape. I've just done it, okay? But if you're just starting out, what I recommend, do a couple strokes like this, okay? We can even go back and forth. It's gonna really get nice and clean. Relax, look at it straight on, okay? Do we like where we're going? Keep going. Relax, look at it. And we're just gonna repeat that until we get the shape that we're after. This is also a really big tip, is to kind of be mindful of how much base you're applying on the eye, because too much, it can get out of control, and then you don't know where to put it on your eye, and then you wind up kind of losing control and losing definition. So where I'm at, I know exactly how much to pick up, but just start with very small amounts of this base, because too much and it could just kind of start to cover up things that we don't want covered up. All right, let's grab this on our C30. Y'all, I don't talk a lot about myself, but I have pulled something in my shoulder, and I want y'all to know I'm fine. But I'm in some pain, just a hair of pain, just a hair, a little bit. And I don't know if it's the way I'm sitting in my chair. I have been trying to figure it out, but I am sitting here and I'm not having quite as much fun as I normally do. So if I come on here and I sigh like I just did, I'm just refocusing everything. I'm just going, it's okay. We're fine. Everything is fine. So I highly recommend this palette. I am actually so impressed and the reason I'm going to recommend it is because I know it's Wet n Wild and it's going to be very affordable. And I just feel like this is a palette that is really, really nice. The formulas are fantastic. The only one that I haven't used so far is this one now, and I know it's going to be fantastic. We'll do inner corner and highlight our brow, but I'm actually kind of blown away. I think it was thought out, and it wasn't just thrown at us. It was thought out. Friends, do not let friends put shimmer shadow on the lash line if they're going to do liner. Skip your shadow there. Your liner will go on so much smoother and last longer later. Just skip it. I know everything in me wants to complete that. Don't. So now we're using this. This is from the collection. This is the Wet n Wild's dual-ended liquid liner. So one side is brush, which I wanted to map this out first with the brush. Look at how nice and black it is, and it's doing what I want it to do. Okay, nice. Bring it over this way. It's about time we do another wing liner tutorial, which we're gonna do. And then we'll take don't worry about this, we're gonna clean all that up. But we'll take the felt side and then fill in, because that felt's gonna fill in really quickly and deepen and do everything that we need it to do. And look at how nice and black that liner's gonna stay, because that shadow's not underneath it. We're gonna put on Libre Lashes, style number 4. Okay, just let it sit there. That glue still wants to slide. Now I'm filming a TikTok as I do this, and I don't remember if I said it here or in the TikTok, but I feel that when I have on a more full coverage eye base, I somehow wind up wearing less foundation, especially with these more flattering, warmer, soft tones. I don't need as much, so I'm not gonna go as heavy. I'm still wearing my Cover FX Power Play foundation, but I'm just not gonna apply quite as much. Okay, so I just filmed really quickly with this. What this is this is the bronzer. Do you know how much I've been loving the PLouise liquid blushes? I saw these all over TikTok, and I'm very selective, and I don't wanna just hype things that, I don't enjoy. I'm actually blown away by the formula of the blush and the bronzer, so I already have it on. I don't have my concealer on yet. This adds coverage without being foundation. The blush, I'll blend the blush. We've seen that one, but we'll use this on Monday. I'll talk about it more, but do I like this? Absolutely. I haven't blended it. My nose isn't blended. But I think that these deserve every bit of hype that they've been getting. let's go ahead and use our blush. So they do come with a sponge, but I ripped that off. I'm not a sponge girly. The reason why is because not only are they not as hygienic, bacteria, it's okay. If you do use it, please don't feel like I'm shaming you. It's just a personal preference. But what I will say about them, that it might be sabotaging your makeup, and the reason why is because if I do a sponge there, it's gonna take off makeup. Sponges just wanna go, it's what they do. So instead, I ripped that off, which they come off very easily, and I love how they're designed that way. And then I'm gonna take that on a spatula or your finger. I just like spatulas. And then this way, I'm not taking away any product. I'm just placing the product. It's the little things, y'all. So I know this looks wild. I'm just finishing blending out the blush. But this is why I didn't do concealer till after. So I still recommend the C31 for any small area of the eye and wherever you have fine lines. I have fine lines around my eyes, so I'm really going to use a tiny brush to really get in there. Say you have fine lines around here, around your mouth, anywhere you have fine lines, a small brush, use what you have in your collection, but don't use jean hair. But do use a very short, dense brush around those fine lines. It's gonna make such a difference, I promise. Then we're gonna grab this concealer brush and we'll finish blending, melting, and transitioning. Now we'll go around the brows with this concealer brush. This one's from the Essential Travel Set. I don't know if I mentioned that. I'm a little off my game again. Y'all know, I hardly ever mention how I feel, but I just feel like we're a family and y'all can just think about me. It would help. I'm a little off my game with where I'm at because my shoulder is going through it. So if I'm repetitive, I will be better Monday. I know I'll be better Monday. I'm going to try my best to take the weekend off and just like sit with a heating pad, which is my worst nightmare, but it needs to be done so I can be better and exist. So the Marilyn Monroe powder, it's very, very, very sparkly. It has a lot of mica in it. That means I'm not going to put it underneath my eye. I'm going to do my one size underneath my eye, and we're going to treat that, the Marilyn Monroe one, like we would a finishing powder. Okay, let's do that. Go ahead and set. I did have a little bit of it on my puff because I was just testing it, so it might have a little bit, but I'm not going to recommend it because there's a little bit over here. I'm not going to recommend this one underneath the eye. Okay, this is also from the collection. She's on the front, so pretty. This is called Rose. The shade is called Rose, and I'm just layering that on top. But I do want to keep it more on the side of my face since it does have a little bit of a sheen. Too much up here, and I might get a little bit texture. You might not, but let's just keep it to the side. It's a beautiful color. I'm going to keep it over here so we can see it by itself later next week. But I like that. Okay, we're going to do this shade as our inner corner. Grab it on the side with our Ooh, see, I told y'all. That is so stunning. I'm going to flip the brush around so it fits perfectly in here. That is so pretty. Let's put that on our brow bone as well. Now mowers. Honestly, I think we should just get pots and pans out and finish this tutorial. I'm on the second floor. Are they coming up here to get me? Okay, let's do our lipstick first. I'm using the Bullet lipstick from the collection, and she's on the front. Isn't that pretty? I feel like this is a pretty accurate vintage red. I'm not the person to ask though. Erin Parsons is the person to ask. And then the Marilyn Monroe lip liner. They don't have names. I'm assuming it's just the collection. But I'll start to perfect and create my shape. Super pigmented, 10 out of 10. This is a gorgeous lip. Mind you, it's a Bullet lipstick. It's gonna move, it's gonna go everywhere. I don't mind that. It is what it is. But there is a liquid matte version that won't go anywhere, and we'll try that next week. Saving this to YouTube immediately. I feel like this is such a fun holiday look. I'll do less intricate holiday looks. Don't you worry. We'll do one on Monday. No, that's for on Monday. We'll do one on Tuesday, and we'll look forward to that. I love this collection. 10 out of a 10. What I used is a 10 out of a 10. This is just a hair too sparkly for me, but if we use it as a finishing powder, we'll just put some on really quickly. Just a hair. Just see how little. Just kind of finish the outer perimeter here, just for some extra glow. This isn't a highlighter glow. It's more of it's just a finishing powder glow. It's not gonna leave a ton of texture. I feel like this would be fun for the holidays. It's just a little added sparkle to the face, but not just glitter. I don't want you to think glitter, but then I don't want you to get it, and I don't want you to think it's just gonna be a setting powder that's not gonna have any kind of shimmer to it. So it's somewhere in between there, but we'll talk about it more. I love you all so much. Y'all are being so sweet to me in the DMs. Y'all worry about me, and I just want you to know I love you so much, and you mean the world to me. Yeah, remember on the weekends we don't do the story tutorials, but I'm gonna have a lot of things uploading to my YouTube, so make sure you check there. I'll remind y'all and give y'all the YouTube link tomorrow to remind y'all. All right, I love you with all of my heart, and I will see you Monday.